Jojo, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So now we're just gonna wait for Dean. Looks like I need to download Google's Chrome. Does it have?
Conventional, international, unconventional grace. Conventional grace. It goes down when my G's connect. No disconnect. I the cat cruise forget. If you talk, you collect. It goes down when my G's connect. No disconnect. I the cat cruise forget. If you talk, you collect.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. We apologize for being super, super, super late. We're just waiting for our fellow guests to tune in so we can hop, hop out on this discussion. But for those who are right now live stream with us, welcome to Jesse Radio Live. This is Talk Show Hour with your one and only Queen D. And today I'll be joined by my producer, brother, my Tom, to my Jerry, Joe. You guys can see him from the screen. And then I have a new guest, Godson Prats. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
You can hear me?
Yep.
Welcome to Chat with Miss D.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the invitation.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing yourself?
I'm doing great also.
It's nice. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much for coming. I really, truly appreciate it. This is actually a very, very student topic for this month because you know what? This is actually May 1st to May 31st. It's
Okay.
mental health awareness month.
Right.
So this is very suitable for our conversation. So guys, please listen to this music as we wait for our second guest, Nuruddin Adeboye. Stay tuned, guys.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, she over. I want to. Oh, there. I do. Oh, there. I do it. Oh, there. Yeah, Shama she badu. Omo to ni kakai yo. He can go and confine it. Killing somebody. She want make her come carry her. I'ma make her in one body. Yeah. Hey, baby. Hey, you know what he late. Oh, yeah. Bring her the way. Down, girl. Go down, down. Yeah, the sound, girl. Down. Yeah. I'm in love. Oh. I said I'm in love. Baby, let me cover you. When you stand, I'm under you. Oh, na 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 na. Uncle, stop touching. Sorry, madam. Sorry. I want to. Oh, there. I do. Oh, there. I do it. Oh, there. Shama she badu. Omo to ni kakai yo. He can go and confine it. Killing somebody. She want make her come carry her. I'ma make her in one body. Yeah. Devil. Chillin', yeah. Down, girl. Go down, down. Yeah, the sound, girl. I'm in love. I said I'm in love. Baby, let me cover you. When you stand, I'm under you. Oh, na 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 na. Uncle, stop touching. Sorry, madam. Sorry.
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear us, Zain? Nuruddin, can you hear us? No. You should put the speaker on.
Are we set now?
Dean, can you hear us?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Put your microphone up, way up, so we can hear you here. Okay. So, Dean Adeboye. is joining us all the way from Manchester.
I'm in point of correction. That is not my name. you, are, you are still making the same mistakes again.
Who wrote that? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Your Highness. But please, before we start this discussion, I would love to have my lovely guests make a proper introduction of who they are and what they do. So, since Dean is all the way from Manchester, please, Dean, tell the Jesse Radio fans who you are and why you're here with us today. Can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I think it's a bit. It's Can you increase your own voice so we can hear you loud and clear from here?
I
I
try.
can hear you now perfectly.
Can you
Now I
hear
can
me?
hear you.
Is it better now?
It's better, yes.
Okay.
So, yes, Dean. So, welcome to Jesse Radio. Whose phone is on? Dean, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead. I can hear you
Okay. So
properly.
I would love for you to make an introduction of, who you are, what you do, and why you join us today.
Oh, I think you've made the introduction already, but anyway, I can polish it a little bit. I'm
Yes,
Dean, as
please.
everyone. So I'm Dean, as everyone knows. Based in Manchester right now, and I'm here to join and discuss about a discussion about what was it?
Mental health issues.
Oh yeah, mental health issue. I mean,
Yeah, how
basically,
do men navigate life's ups and downs? That's our
exactly,
topic for today.
exactly. So that is the main purpose why we are here, I think.
Okay, so Dean, how do I pronounce your surname? Since we've been having it all the way around with Joe.
So my surname is.
Yes.
It's so funny. I mean, you've known me for a long time, and you don't even remember
I'm
my
so
name.
sorry. I'm really sorry.
I know. I mean, you're not the only one. I mean, most of the people are also getting it wrong. But my last name is Adedoja.
Ade Borja.
Adedoja, yeah.
Okay, Ade Doja.
Yeah. It's very simple. I mean,
What you sent is what I put there.
Did I?
Yeah.
All right. Apologies. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Dean Ade Doja is joining us all the way from Manchester. He used to live here with us, but now he has relocated in Manchester. Dean, lovely to have you guys. Lovely to have you here. And then we have another guest in the building, Godson Bratt.
Yes.
Did I have your surname correct this time?
Yeah. Got some Pratt.
Godson Pratt, right?
Yeah.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So, Godson, what do you do?
I'm a nurse by profession,
Yeah.
but I'm also the founder and CEO of Get Fit for Sure. So, Get Fit for Sure is a fitness brand that it's.
can you raise your voice a bit? I cannot hear properly.
You cannot hear, right? You need to
Yeah, I
put that
can.
up.
Not. I mean, raise your voice a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear now?
Can you
Dean,
hear
can
me
you
now?
hear us now? Dean, can you hear us now?
I can hear you, but I cannot say you. So,
You cannot hear Jojo.
Okay. What about now? Can you hear me, Dean?
yeah, come on, master your voice, man. Speak like a
I
man.
don't know if it's my voice or if it's the microphone. But
Jojo, you need to put some volume in your voice.
No, I think it's from.
what about Diana? Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So like I said,
Dean, what are you using there? Are you using computer or?
Oh yeah, I'm using computer.
okay.
Can you use something like headphone or something? Yeah.
Yeah, you have
I
headphones
should
with
put
you?
on.
Yeah, because if you have a headphone, it's much easier.
But I can hear you now. I mean, let's go on. I mean, we can have a short break so I can get that one done in a short
Okay,
time.
all
Thank you.
right, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So that was Godson is you said you are a part-time nurse and also you have your own brand.
No. I'm a full-time nurse, but I have my own brand as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that. Welcome to Jesse Radio. And then we have Joe joining us.
Yes.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Miss D.
How are you?
I'm blessed, always blessed,
Always blessed.
of course.
It's really truly an honor to have three of you guys, representing the youth, the generation, the Gen Z, the millennials, name it. I just feel like this topic that we're going to talk about today, it's a topic that hasn't been talked about enough in our community and especially in African society. I just think that it's a stigma to talk about men's mental issues, and this month is actually mental health awareness. So we are going to talk about today how men navigate life through ups and downs. But before we talk about that, I want to know from Godson.
Yep.
Let's talk about mental health. What does mental health means to you? And yeah, in your own opinion.
Okay, so before I start, just for like a disclaimer,
Yeah.
I'm not a like a psychiatry or psychologist or anything. So most of the things that I'm about to share here are based on my own experience.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, so mental health might mean completely different for most people, and as I share my experience, I would also like to say that clearly there is a people that have certain type of mental illness or mental health problem that clearly need maybe medication or
Professional
professional
help, yeah.
and stuff like that. And I totally respect that. I myself have never been, I've never seen any professional, so I've never been like diagnosed with any type of mental illness or anything like that. But based off of my own experience, that's what I'm about to share. So, like you said, this is a topic that we haven't. It's not even a thing like we talk about. When the stigmatization that is associated with the word mental health itself. So I'm happy to be here, having this conversation on this platform. And Dean, I don't know how much you people know about Dean, but even me myself, at a point when I didn't have enough knowledge about this subject, Dean was one of the people that I actually reached out to personally to ask a few questions, and like he was happy and willing to share with me his own experience. So I would first of all like to say congratulations to Dean for always being there to have this conversation, even though it's not something we do.
Yeah.
And also to Joe for building the platform that we can have this conversation.
This
on.
type of conversation, yes.
Yeah, and you also, Diana, for being the person who kind of identify that these are the people that it's possible to have this conversation with. So I'm happy to be here. I'm here to learn, but I'm also here to share my own experience.
Thank you so much. That was so beautifully said. Now, since you mentioned like Dean has been one of the pioneers, so somebody you can confine to, when you're going through stuff. Is that what you mean, right?
In a way, yes, because in my culture we always have the elders that we always go to look for advice. But also, like if I'm sharing my own story a little bit, there was a point in time that fitness or exercising was not really a part of. It's not something that I really did. So when I was trying to look for help, at a point in my life that I felt like I needed help. As an African, when you need help, you don't go straight to like a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Like,
yeah, we go to
people.
people exactly.
So when I started to like some of the people that I was asking for help, and then they were recommending fitness, I needed information from somebody who was practicing fitness. So Dean to me was that kind of person that has been a bodybuilder for many years. So I wanted to seek his knowledge on that aspect. So that's what I did. So in a way, I was getting advice from him as an elder brother, but also as an expert who has been doing bodybuilding and physical fitness for years. So he was the right type of person at the time.
Wow, Dean. Dean, can you hear us?
Oh yeah, I can hear you properly now.
So, something is aching here. Yeah. So
It's aching you?
yeah, something.
Like,
I don't know if from the inside or something. I cannot hear it.
you cannot hear?
I can hear, but it's like
The
Yeah,
chi-
it's making some noise.
It's from his end, not here.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna change the gate to Dean. Dean, you heard what Bryson had to say.
Oh yeah, I heard something. I couldn't hear everything, but I think that I could. I mean, fall in the same line with him. I heard him saying about some little help I offered him some time ago, which I mean, I believe it was a very good, I mean,
Yeah, I know he
feedback.
was just acknowledging your efforts in the fitness industry, how you've been able to help him, with his fitness journey, and also, like how to maneuver in that fitness aspect. Did I understood you correct, Gerson?
Yeah, yeah, 100%,
Yeah.
100%. So, like I also said from the beginning, there is clearly there's people who have problems that need medication and stuff like that.
Mm.
For me, I was embarking on a journey, and I was embarking on a fitness journey. So, I wanted to, sometimes like nowadays you can hear information from different type of people from, YouTube or social media, but they might not necessarily be people who have done what they are saying. So for me, I was looking for somebody who has really done what, from what I saw from Dean. He's a person who has really embodied that kind of lifestyle. So I was seeking his knowledge on, like how can fitness help, like mental health and stuff like that. And the information that he shared to me at the time has helped me a lot. So, like I said, he was one of the people that I saw that I could go to, who was living the life that I was looking to live, and really he helped me with his knowledge. And
So he was a positive impact in your life,
100%,
and yeah.
100%, 100%.
Then what do you got to say about that? Actually, I can testify to that. You are definitely, a positive person, and that didn't come to me as a surprise. Don't
I
worry,
can
we got to
always,
talk
I
about
can
that.
always say thank you, man. I can always say
Yeah.
thank you. That's what's up. We are there to help each other, and for sure, when a brother, I mean, reach to you, you should be able to be there for him. I mean, this is what it's about. I appreciate the gratitude, bro.
For sure, anytime.
Then let me ask this question to you: how important is men's mental health? You think these days?
Um, I think that when you are talking about men's mental health,
Mm.
I mean, most of the time, guys don't really discuss about their personal issues. One of the reasons are because we always want to protect ourselves. We want to protect our confidence. So
Is
most
it
of the time,
protection or is it the fear of judgment from others? What do you think? Why do you think
uh,
men don't talk about what they're going through?
I don't think that we are afraid of somebody judging us, but then
Mm.
we are afraid that we are going to speak out our feeling and we don't get cure from that person. And
Mm.
for a guy, we happen to be more like productive or useful with any information when we are confident of ourselves. And so the moment you start sharing some kind of private issues with someone, you start to feel insecure of yourself as a
Because you
guy.
feel like you're open book, kind of like somebody
Exactly.
knows about. Okay.
You know. So I mean, as a guy, everything we have is the confidence. The moment we lose it, we're just gonna go to complete breakdown.
I want to ask Joe about this. Joe, do you agree with what Dean just said? But is it like African guys in general or mostly guys? This is how they deal with it because I just feel like guys could be there are different type of guys. There are guys who are more like in touch with their emotions. They share their feelings. And they talk things out. But some African guys, like Dean just said, they intend to keep it to themselves because when you open up, you actually share yourself and you become more vulnerable to people that don't deserve your that's what
Yeah,
you
but
mean, right, Dean?
yeah, but
Exactly.
that also
Exactly.
depends to whom you share your problem with.
Yeah.
That's why I always say to people that you definitely have to surround yourself with people, the wise people or the wise one, or people who are less talkative, than people who always like blah 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 all the time. Because I myself, I share my problem with people who I know that okay,
They can help you through it.
exactly.
Okay.
You know what they say: problem share, problem solve.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's not anyone that I can talk to. No, it's difficult for me per se to take a phone and make a call to somebody that okay, hey, listen, I have a problem. This is my problem. Where's your opinion? But first of all, I try as much to deal the problem myself to extend that okay, I reach to the point that maybe I need help.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can include a third party or a second party to it.
So mostly you guys tend to solve the problem yourself, and then when you can, then you reach out to somebody who you can Trust.
That's why you are a man. You know, that is the I can say that is the higher power of a man. You know.
Okay,
The-
before we go to mental health issue, I actually would like for you guys to define what makes a man a man. What is a man?
I think
Because
I
he
think
was
we'll
saying that's why
throw,
you're a man.
that person to Jojo because Jojo could.
It's okay. Let me jump in here a little bit because
Yeah.
first of all,
Go on, Jojo.
we're talking about mental health and,
Mhm.
and then men, but what I'm saying is like for us as African men,
Yeah.
we have a little bit different culture and different training compared to other men. So if the question is how do African men navigate, then let me take you to my own experience because sometimes culture is a very important aspect of us, and when it comes to changing culture, it is not as easy as we might think because sometimes when we migrate from Africa to Europe, it doesn't necessarily mean that all of a sudden we become different men because the culture still stays with us.
That's true.
And in our culture, sometimes we have absolutely different training as to what a man is and should you cry as a man or stuff like that. Like there's a lot of things that our parents or our grandparents teaches us when we are kids as to what a man is and what a man is not. But
Yeah.
when we are talking about mental health, again, it's a very delicate situation. So I wouldn't necessarily divert it to man or woman, but mental health is an issue that it hasn't been openly talked about, be it men or women or be it like from African background or whatever. So,
Exactly.
about I think in 2001 or so, the World Health Organization released an article that said that at the time it was about 280 million people, had depression or some type of psychiatric related stuff. Now, if you think about 280 million, that seems like not so much people compared to the billions that we are as a humanity. But then, if you think of all these 280 million, they know or have family members or friends and stuff like that. So sometimes when you have a person who is not feeling good, they affect the people around them. So if you look at the bigger picture, there is many people who are being affected by mental health than we openly discuss. Now, for men, and especially from Africa background, the way we talk about emotions that make us seem like weak is, we don't really do that, So in my own case, at a point in time when I felt like I really needed help and, if I would have been an European man, I would have easily gone to, some therapy or stuff like that if I was a European man. But as an African man, I felt like there's so much stigmatization,
Behind it. Behind being vulnerable.
Exactly. So I couldn't really, go to seek help where I thought I seek help in a very
Why you couldn't go and seek help?
because that like my culture, like the African culture didn't
What does the African culture teaches African men?
to not be weak.
So what is the weakness? Define weakness to me as a man.
I think
What do you guys consider weakness?
there are certain emotions that when you, as a man, you start to express certain emotions, like naturally it becomes like a weakness,
Be a man.
So basically, these emotions are like real men don't ask for help. Strong men don't have emotions problems.
For
Real
example,
men shouldn't need therapy or medication.
No.
Crying isn't for boys. Is that what you're saying?
That I disagree. No.
I mean, Dean is.
There's nobody in this world says you said that I don't need help. Everybody needs it. Once upon a time you need, and the time comes you need, and in future you need, and the present moment you need.
But did you just hear what Gerson said?
No,
He said,
what he means, what he simply means is that
yeah.
As a man, it's not you don't have to show too much your vulnerability.
But why
out there.
not? Why is not
You know.
okay for men to show, their emotions?
That's why God created you as a man.
Well, that's why I said define what is a man.
But the man has already said it.
You don't get it, do you?
A man is a man.
What is a man?
but Diana,
Is it a
Diana,
strong individual? Is that what you consider a man? A man who doesn't have emotions? Is that what you? Yes.
Diana, what I'm trying to
Okay,
say,
maybe didn't want to come in.
Yeah. Wait. Gerson say then before Dean hop on this.
What I want to say is like,
Yeah.
be it a man or a woman, I'm talking more about culture because I also know, like, at least I have friends that have, we've had a lot of discussions surrounding these type of issues, and sometimes you would see even an African woman whose child, for example, has some type of problem, and then they are prescribing or suggesting some type of treatment, and even though they are a woman, because they have the Africa background and they also know of the stigmatization towards the issue of mental health.
That is true.
They refuse it. So what I'm saying is like it's not about being a man. It's more about the culture, like the training that we have, because the training and culture that we have affect a little bit how we respond or react to certain things. And mental health is just so delicate that we are not. It's not even normal or common for us as African people to be discussing this because like a lot of times, if this will happen back home, the first place they look for help is maybe from a pastor or a shrine or a church or something, because what we see is like is the work of the devil.
That is true.
So let's have the conversation in such a way like we don't jump around man or woman, because this is a very this is something that affects pretty much everybody.
So before I jump on ask this question to Dean, let me understand this correctly. In African culture, men are taught to just handle whatever comes their way. Am I correct?
I can say yes to that extent.
Okay.
Why I say yes to that extent that, I think every boy growing up in Africa, about 80% or 90%, your parent taught you how to become responsible.
Responsible, true.
And responsible come with a lot of different type of diversity or so many things involved. That including being hard. And doing hard work, taking things in, not vomiting things. Vomiting things. What I mean, vomiting things is mean like it's not everything that you go and
Lynn is here laughing.
Yeah.
So you
okay. I need help. Can you help me? You start to say so many things. I always said that you a man, God created you as a man, and his own in likeness of his own image, right? So it means God is strong. So if you're a man, you have to be strong, physically, mentally, in
emotionally.
Emotionally, you have to be strong. So you cannot be vulnerable while your wife is vulnerable, because the Bible has already said that. Sorry, I'm not trying to put only Christianity.
No, we have a pastor in the building. Come on, please.
So if I think also the Quran probably said that too, that the women are the wicked vessels or something like that. So they are a bit sensitive. So if you're a man, you are sensitive. Of course, it's nice to be though, so that you can have that compassion. But at the end of the day, I think that every man needs to be strong in respect of whatever comes on your way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your opinion.
That's my opinion. Yeah.
What do you say, Dean? Do you agree with Joe? Every man has to be strong.
I mean, not precisely, because like Pratt was saying, that sometimes our culture and our background makes who we are. We go through a lot of hardship, way back home and stuff like that. But then, I don't want to base my explanation on the background that we all came from. But what I want to speak more about the natural aspects of a man's behavior or certain things that is expected from a man.
Yes.
As a man, when you are small, for example, there are certain things that it naturally just come inside you. You just feel like you have certain control of things. You have certain, you kind of want to take in charge of certain things. You understand what I'm saying?
You mean you gotta be responsible?
Not responsible as such, but then my point is that, for example, when you have as a mom, when you have a little boy, and somebody, for example, intruded in your house, even no matter how small it is, he became the first one that is going to face whatever is coming onto his mouth.
Protector. That's true.
So this is one qualities that we have as a man. It just comes naturally that you want to be there for people that you love, people that you care for.
True.
What I'm saying. And so I understand that Jojo doesn't want to, make it specifically talking about men. But the topic is the mental issues that it involves only men.
Only males, exactly. How do
Exactly.
males
So that
navigate?
is why I'm thinking that we should try to, stay on the point or the subject that we have on the table. And
True.
so, if I will speak a little bit more about the mental health of men, for example, I, from my own experience, for example, I came from Ghana as in Ghana or in Africa as a little boy. You try to be tough. You try to do a lot of struggle. You try to be doing so many things that it looks like you have to do it in the harder way. You get to grow up with that, and then at some point at your age, you feel like you are a real man. You can handle situation because you've gone through a lot, and so
Yeah,
that
since
has
he was
kind of
smaller. Yeah.
exactly. So that has kind of prepared you to become who you are or who you could be in the future. And so, when we travel, we face also certain challenges. But because of the kind of hardship or the kind of brought up we have had in the past or in our childhood, it doesn't become a breakdown at that moment because we don't see it to be a bigger challenge. We see ourselves to be having a bigger challenges in the past. So it doesn't really move us. But at the same time, you have to understand that as a male, you get to stages in life. You get to a stage whereby you are in your teenage time, and then again you become a man where you feel like you are starting to have a relationship or get into marriage or stuff like that. For example, I have been into a marriage whereby it wasn't successful, and at the point where I wasn't being able to be successful in my marriage, it was a total breakdown for me.
And how did
And
you come up? Like, how did you
exactly,
manage from that? Yeah.
exactly. So one of the things that I was able to be to manage with my own mental stress and mental issues was the consistency that I have putting into my life before the marriage.
Mm.
I have already dedicated myself into a certain things that I happen to do them no matter what happens in my life, no matter changes. And that one thing is the bodybuilding. I love bodybuilding so much that I don't even know that if I can exchange bodybuilding with any woman. Because
Dean, hold on to that. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break and then we're gonna come back. Dean, can you
right.
get yourself a headphone while we're going to break?
All right, yeah,
Back
let's
in
do
about
that.
1 minute and then we continue this topic. All right?
Okay, all right, let's
Okay.
do that.
Um, it was breaking, so I needed him to have full of it.
Missing me pretty girl, why you do me so? Although me sweetie darling, I have fallen, can't you see? I know they feel they go. I never
No.
tell you no lie.
Music is on.
Baby girl, why you do me so? Never you say bye bye. To the end of time, I saw that thing they go. Missing me pretty girl, why you do me so? Why you do me so? Although me sweetie darling, I am falling, can't you see? I know they feel they go. As I dey sleep, I be counting my ceiling. Oh my God, what a feeling. 21st century, so she go tell it to my face. Oh, yeah. It's over. My baby say over. It's over. It's over. She dey tell me say over. 21st century, so she go tell it to my face. Oh, yeah. It's over. She dey tell me say over. It's over. It's over. My baby say over. Oh, she dey tell me say over. Even if I report, I'm to Jehovah. He said she go drive a Benz, no Corolla.
Hi, Dean, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. When you fix your head for them, we're gonna continue this topic about you not exchanging your bodybuilding for any woman. meanwhile, meanwhile, so that is how Dean actually, men have different ways to cope with depressions and all that kind of stuff. So maybe that's one of his ways to deal with his. Um, Hello, can you hear me? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on Jersey Radio Live. Today's topic, we're talking about men's mental health issue, and this is how men's navigate life's ups and downs. As you heard from Dean, he was just saying, he's sharing with us his life experiences, how he came from Ghana. He had to, all the struggle made him who he is today. And because of bodybuilding, he's the man that he is today. And for that reason, he doesn't seem, I mean, Dean, you seem happy. And for me, with or without a woman, it's always like, I agree on what you said. You need to have something that makes you happy. A woman or a man is just a bonus to your happiness. A person shouldn't define it. You know what I mean? Like, because I get what you mean. Where you are right now is where I am in the stage of life where you feel like, you're doing bodybuilding. I'm doing this hosting thing. This is one of my passions. So when I'm doing it, I'm doing it with all my heart and whatever. So if a man will come to my life right now and say that, I want you to be at home, I want you to be a housewife, I don't see that happening, So I choose to do what makes me happy. And for that reason, I definitely understand you. But is this one of the ways you cope with when it comes to anxiety or depression, when you're going through stuff that you feel like this is definitely difficult to handle?
Yeah.
Turn to gym. Is that how you handle your stress?
Oh yeah, I mean, for me, the gym is the therapy. It's like complete therapy for me. I shut down. I get rid of everything in my head. I come back home born again.
So when you go through hard times in life, you turn to gym.
So
But
I mean,
yeah.
so my point was that, I mean, when you have something that you do part of your life, you take it serious. It becomes something that you take it serious. So which means that you are consistent in what you do.
Yeah, you dedicated to it.
Exactly. And so for that matter, whatever that hits you, whatever problem that you are going through, show must go on. And what you are doing that you are enjoying will just help you to, I mean, pass through that challenges very smoothly. For me, I have been doing bodybuilding, as Jojo mentioned, for a long time. And so I just wanted to put myself into a different, maturity in life by getting myself a partner. But you have to also understand that that is also a risk. It is never guaranteed that you are going to be able to be successful in any kind of, institution of marriage institution you are going into. And so, but then what you do and what you love doing or what you do best is the only thing that would always be with you.
Okay.
And
Jojo,
that thing will
is
never
this
leave you.
something that
So
you can relate to what Dean just said?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, now I can relate to it because I have done it. But like I said, from the beginning, so like me personally, I didn't start with bodybuilding actually because I didn't know that aspect. So I started first with drinking alcohol.
but come on, Joe, I know you to be a model, man. Come on, when did you become a
No, wait,
bodybuilder?
Jojo, you just said imagine. Okay, let's go deep, guys, because I really want to know how do African men deal with depression, anxiety. Dean just said one perfect statement: gym.
Yeah.
Because when you see African men in gym, that's how I
So,
feel like
Diana, let me just come in.
yeah.
I don't necessarily mean gym, but I mean something that you do and you do it,
Something that you're
something that
passionate
you
about.
love doing.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So my
So
my example was the training and fitness and stuff. But somebody could have
okay.
something else.
Okay. Okay, I understand that. So anybody, something that they are passionate about, they should focus on that and do it like consistently. That's how they deal with their, anxiety and depression. Is that what you were referring to, Dean?
Yeah, that's what I refer to because that thing gives you joy, and you find yourself into that thing. You kind of get a lot of reflection when you are doing that, and so I believe that by doing those things, it will just take all of your problems away because you, if anyway, do it before you got those problems.
Okay,
You
before
have
I
to
go to
understand
Jojo.
that pain.
Mm,
So you have to understand that pain is meant to be there. We definitely gonna have pain, but then miserable is a choice. So it is your choice to be miserable. And so, however, whatever that is gonna come on your way, it is your choice either to take it in a miserable way or you wanna implement it to become a better, approach.
okay, before I go to Jojo, I need to ask Dean this thing. How do you deal with? Let's put Jim aside, okay? Let's say you're going through a heartbreak or anxiety. Do you believe in having a conversation with another individual, or you just feel like, that's a sign of weakness? You just handle everything by yourself. How do you like deal with stuff like this?
Uh,
When I
so um, for me, I like I said already, as a guy, what
mm,
everything that we have is our confidence. You know, as a man, like Joe was saying, you have to be responsible, and then you also have to stand on your words, no matter what. And this is how what makes you a man, because whatever decision you are going to make is not going to be easy. And so, for sure, when you are standing on your words and you make sure that whatever decision you take, you are going to implement on it, that makes you the difference between the man and the woman. Because women are very emotional, like Joe was saying. They, based on their emotions, it kind of makes them to have a little bit of different, ideas or different change of mind, if I'll put it
mm-hmm,
that way. But
mm-hmm.
as for a man, the way you can make a discrepancy between a man and a woman is when you say yes is yes, no is no, and there is no way other way around. And
Okay,
so
you
when
kind
you
of asked
still
the
have your
question, but you
confidence,
didn't ask. Yeah. So when you have your
when
confidence,
yeah, and so when you still have your confidence and you are able to find, are you still there? Can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Hmm.
Yeah, so when you still have your confidence and you are able to, work on your own private issues. If it doesn't work, of course, for sure, you want
My
to.
thing is, how do you work on your own private issues? What do you do? What do African? How do African men like work on their own private issue? Except, let's take Jim aside, or whatever. Like, how do you deal with your emotions when you're going through emotions? What is the thing that you do? I want to know. Yeah, like from your own point. Then I'm gonna ask Joe and Jojo just in a minute.
Yeah, so from my own point of view, when I would explain to you how I handle my own emotional
Yes.
issues is at the first place I'm going to analyze the whole situation and then think
Mhm.
about a way forward. I have to be able to sit down and think what can I do about it. But the only thing that I'm trying to tell you is that the moment I take myself out of the house and get to the gym or get to do any physical activities, it makes it a lot more easy for me to think about a better direction on how to
Mm.
handle it. And so,
Mm.
for sure, maybe at that point, I want to discuss it with a very close family member or a very good friend
Mm.
because, we haven't been taught how to communicate such things with a stranger, like calling for therapy or something like
So you don't recommend a therapy. You recommend, as Joe just said earlier,
that.
an elder, somebody who is
I
knowledgeable.
don't. I'm not gonna say that I don't recommend because
Mm.
everyone could have a different issues, and there can be a professional that can help you. Better. So I'm not
Yes.
saying everyone, but from my own perspective and my way of handling situations like depression, stress, or whatsoever, I start
Mm.
the self cure before I would take it further.
Okay. And by self care is, like what you doing, what you do daily, getting yourself
Exactly.
active, and
Exactly.
okay,
Exactly.
and then surrounding yourself with the good friends. If you need advice, you go reach out to those friends that you can trust.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, it depends. People have family depression. I mean, friends depression, work depression. I mean, it can be whatever. So you have to also look at which person is the right person to like approach or tell these issues with, so that you can have the best help that you can. Because I cannot get up and speak with you, Diana, about my friends' issues or whatever depression we have, because you might not be good at it. But if I will tell you I have a girlfriend, this is what is going on. I mean, maybe you can help me, because from your, as a female and as an experienced woman,
Okay,
you
okay, I
can use
see, I
your
see.
own experience and help
I
me.
see. Yeah. Joe, are you here with us?
I'm definitely here.
You're definitely okay. Your sexy voice came back.
It's so funny. Both of them are JoJo. So I mean,
Yeah, Jojo. So, I mean, did you guys agree with what Dean just said? How
Oh yeah.
I just feel like it's gonna go one way here. It's all agreement because African men are not meant to show emotions. But anyway, Joe, how do you deal with because you have a lot of things going on with you right now? You know, how do you deal with stress?
Diana, how do you know that?
Because I'm Diana Mansur, I know everything.
You know, I am also Dean, so I am confident in asking
Okay,
anything.
Dean, this is not Diana and this show. Calm down. Go on, Joe. How do you deal with this?
How I deal with it is that
Because Dean deals with his emotions by
understand.
being active.
Yeah,
You
I
are
know.
more,
I know.
yeah.
What I mean is how I deal with my situation is that most of the time I just DJ myself at home if I'm stressed out.
Okay, so that's your passion.
Yeah.
Exactly what Dean was saying earlier.
Yeah,
so like
I just go to the turntable and start to spin maybe like 3-4 hours, and from there I just put on some movie that I don't like.
movie that you don't like.
Yeah.
So you can just waste your time. Is that what you're saying?
What I mean, if I put movie that I don't like, it means I'm putting myself to sleep.
Oh.
Yeah, because I don't like. I'm one person. It's very difficult for me to call to somebody and start to talk about my problem. You know, I don't feel comfortable.
But don't you guys think that that's the stigma we should break
No.
in our African community?
I'm able to deal with that for 40 years of my life. Let me say, okay, let me put that 25 years of my life now.
And how has that
You
served
understand?
you from now to from then to now?
Good, because you know why?
Yeah.
Because it's very, very difficult. Like, for example, me and Jojo, we talk time to time. By any time we talk about progress. You understand? We don't have that time to talk about each other problem. We talk about what can take us forward, not backward, right? So good. So if I'm having that kind of conversation, which is healthy conversation, it makes me want to talk. But then if I bring my problem all the time, he's not comfortable with it, because probably he must be going through another thing. You understand? So in general, it's always good that, like I said, as a man, you always have to find a way to do your own thing. You know, deal with your own problem, because that makes you a man. You know, there's a man in it's a Gambian, lives in Nigeria. He said that always strike when the iron is hot. When it got hotter,
Can you be more specific on what you mean by
yeah,
that?
I'll break it down.
Yeah, break it down. Please.
And I didn't understand at first. Then I played the video over, and the last word he quoted was that it's never possible until it's done. So I was asking myself, something is not possible, it's not possible. Then I rephrased the whole thing, then I realized that in life, if you don't try, you don't see the outcome.
That is true.
You understand? At first, I didn't understand. Then I went deep me more. Then I said, wow, this is deep. But you need a wise one to think deep, to understand what the man is. When it means, when the iron is hot, when it gets hotter, you already know how it feels from the beginning.
True.
It means that nothing comes easy, but always try. When it got harder, you already know. Because right now, as I am right now, there's no part of this world you put me, I will not survive. Because I've been in the worst field before coming to Finland here. You understand? So like I said, as a man, you always have to be strong. Like what Dean was saying. You understand? You always have to be strong
Okay,
mentally.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Because you guys are based on survival mode, because you guys were brought up to survive, to be in charge, to be in control.
You're a warrior.
So you have this mindset of, whatever comes in your way, you will handle it.
Absolutely.
From a little boy.
Absolutely.
Okay, now imagine yourself now having a boy, okay? Would you teach your sons the way your mother or your father has taught you?
Absolutely.
Or would you change?
What I would change is
What-
that
yeah.
I will not beat the child, because in my time I got beaten. The difference I would change there, I will not beat the child. You understand? That's the difference. But then I will put it in a more civilized way. You understand? That's the only difference. But apart from that, my grandmom taught me a lot, and she taught me how to cook food, how to respect women, and how to deal with certain situations, and how a man can consume.
Okay.
She was always, all the time, when she talked with me, she always emphasized on consuming, but like, how I can consuming, take it in. You are a man, you can do it. You don't have to be like, like a woman. She always said, I don't want you to be like a woman, be like a man. You understand? So that's why you see me like this. You understand? If I'm doing something, if it's not done, I'm not done. That's me.
So basically, you will teach your son just exactly the same tools your parents
Mama.
teach you, minus the beating.
As I'm telling here, my boy now know how to fix all these things here. And he's just 13. You understand? I said to him, listen, I'm not going to put you out there to go and learn. You have to learn. I didn't have anybody to put me into that position. You are where you are now. You are comfortable. The time I was your age, I wasn't comfortable. I'll make life comfortable, but not that comfortable that you have to be useless. You understand? So I always make it straight to him. But at first he didn't understand. But later he came to understand that and it helped me a lot. Always told me that thank you. All the word he always said to me that thank you. I said no. I was doing it because if I'm not there tomorrow, you are able to face the world. Because this world now is not what you know, it's whom you know.
That is true.
And whom you know is not always come like that. There's a way out you need to pay, and you don't know the outcome. So always face the hardship rather to succeed in life.
Wow.
Yes.
Rich. Jojo,
Yeah.
what do you think about this?
Well, yeah. I mean, basically, what everybody is saying is pretty much true. Me, like Dean, basically now, my lifestyle is very different from, what I used to do before. So again, like you said, because of the stigma and stuff like that, for me, when I first had my experience, I didn't really know how to navigate it, but I did what I thought was best. So I was trying a few things. First of all, I knew that I wasn't gonna go see a therapy or whatever, because like how we do it. We don't go to see therapy because that's like a sign of weakness. So I started to smoke weed, and then like sometimes the weed wasn't helping me, so I stopped the weed, and then I started to drink alcohol. And then that wasn't helping me.
Jojo,
either.
hold on. I want you to break it down for the viewers out there who are listening to us.
Yeah.
Before ever you start intoxicating yourself, what were you going through? Do you mind sharing? You don't need to be, all like detail-wise, but like,
Specific,
specific. But what were you going through that you feel like you couldn't deal with it by yourself anymore? You need some substance.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the thing that you were going through?
So I will leave the specific out for for another time.
Yeah.
But like Dean said, sometimes if you know how to deal with something, then you have the right tools, you will use them, right? So in that time,
You didn't have the right tools.
the tools I had was weed, alcohol, and whatever I thought I could use. So. But when I was using all those things and then it wasn't helping me, I knew that like what is the next thing? So when physical fitness came as in like an option, I had to investigate that because that was the only thing that was left that I hadn't tried, basically. So, but I did my research and then I started to practice it. So like Dean said, now you can see me modeling and stuff like that. But if I will show you my old pictures, I was really out of shape. And that was kind of eating me up. So when I started to do fitness, and I realized like, wait, this works because it was making me feel good
mentally,
yeah. And then physically, I was also looking good, So emotionally, I was feeling, really good. So I realized that, the fitness was the only thing that was actually helping me. So now talking about my own experience, I didn't have the tools from the beginning, but when I tried everything I had that didn't help me, of course, I didn't go talk to people, but I went to YouTube, and then YouTube doesn't judge you or know that you are weak or whatever. But I was asking, YouTube the questions, and then based on what was coming out of there, physical fitness was the only thing that I hadn't tried. So I started that. And when I started it, for me, I just wanted to feel good because I didn't feel good. I couldn't sleep, all this kind of stuff. So physical fitness helped me, to some extent. Like, I really was interested in helping myself. I wasn't interested about anybody else or what everybody did or whatever. But when physical fitness worked for me, I stuck with it. And now that has become something that I do, something that I love. So like now, Dean, regardless of whatever I have, I will go to the gym or do some type of physical activity, and that will put me in a position where I can be able to process or deal with anything,
Okay, now let's talk about this, because I feel like majority African men, when it comes to physical aspects, they are good at that. You handle things that majority of, let's say, Caucasian white men cannot handle. You know what I mean? Let's say when it comes to depression, we, like you said, in our community or society, we're not brought up or taught what is depression or mental issue even.
Yeah.
Now, really, really want us to talk about the emotional aspects for men out there. Stigmas that men face that hinder them from seeking mental health treatment. Let's say real men don't ask for help.
No, that also is wrong.
Because that's the stigma behind it. Because when you ask for help, you seem weak. Or, like I said, actually, strong men don't deal with emotions.
I would say to everyone listening out there, if you have that kind of mindset, you need to clear that narrative from your mind, because at the end of the day, you have to understand that problems share, problems solved, but mind you who you share your problem with.
Exactly.
That's a whole thing.
Exactly.
You understand? Yeah.
Exactly.
Of course, I have, like I said earlier on, I have people that I talk to them, they talk to me back. Sometimes there's one man in this country, I'm going to mention his name. I mean, he's well-to-do. I was shocked that he called me and seeking my advice. I was like, whoa, no, hello, you are talking to the wrong person. He said, no, you. I was like, seriously? But then I asked him that, how? My opinion, does it really matter to you? He said, yes. You understand? So then, because I always go to him, I was wondering why he's coming back to me. You understand? So it doesn't matter who you are. Everyone needs help.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
In short, yeah.
So for the viewers out there, real men do ask for help, and real men should ask for help.
Yeah.
That's for us as a woman is very attractive. When a man is vulnerable, you don't have to be this strong man as most African men should be. Like when you're strong, you should be able to handle things. Because at the end of the day, we are all humans. You're a man, I'm a woman, but we all have emotions. And when you're going through something, you need to talk about those things.
Absolutely.
Since we don't believe in therapy, we do have, luckily for us, we have good friends, family members, pastors even, or, somebody you can confide into. I want to talk about this. Godson was saying about this substance that he was using, this weed and drinking and stuff like that. Like nowadays generations, when you see these Gen Zs, these little boys growing, especially guys who moved from Africa, they came here. They want to adapt to this European mindset.
But, Dan, if I would come in.
Yeah.
He was talking then, right?
Yeah.
Good.
No, he was talking then.
I'm not saying you are wrong. No, I'm not saying you are wrong.
Wait, before you correct me, let me finish
I'm
what
not
I was
correcting you.
saying.
I'm not correcting you.
Okay.
I'm just adding.
Yeah.
I'm not correcting you. What I'm trying to say that then, because he quote a word that then he couldn't navigate his point.
Exactly.
So the only aspect that can help me at that time was that.
That was that.
And still, it wasn't helping.
Exactly.
Then when he navigate his point, where that can help him, that key can help him.
He find his passion.
He's able to open the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So good, but that's what I'm trying to say, that it makes sense. But people go into that aspect not to find anything, but just to find self pressure. That's all, and that doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense. That's why I wanted to bring it back.
Yeah. So I'm just adding. I'm not correcting you. No.
No, it doesn't make sense. People who just want to find pleasure, I just believe that as the people who don't want to face their reality. You know,
Exactly.
when you're living in denial, like, oh, I don't have problem, I'm okay, so I can be doing whatever I do and I'll be fine. But Godson realized that, you know what, this is not helping. I need to find something that will help me. So, Jojo, for the boys out there or the men out there who are listening to this right now, who are going through a lot, they're not even saying it, they're not speaking on it because they don't want to be laughed at. This is also another stigma that we have to talk about in our African community. If Jojo talking to another person, let's say Dean or Joe here, do you feel like after you've been vulnerable to these guys, do you feel like oh no, they're gonna use my information, whatever I said to them, against me? Is that why most African men don't open up?
I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but for me,
Your
like,
opinion, what do you think about it?
my opinions is, you see, the thing with me is like I was very interested in helping myself. You know, I just didn't know the channels through which I could get the help. So like, even when I was reaching out to Dean and stuff, this was when I was reaching out to them because I wanted to go into physical fitness, and then I knew like they are the people in the physical fitness arena. But for me personally, like really, Dean probably knows this, but I haven't even said it anywhere. You know, I was so much interested in helping myself that I even traveled all the way to Asia, to a monastery, to learn from monks. That's how much I was interested in helping myself. So I think like it is more about.
That is far, bro.
Yeah, I was serious about it.
I think you were in tune with yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you were in tune with yourself, and you wanted to seek. You want a better version of yourself.
Absolutely.
I really applaud you for that.
For sure. So like I'm saying, I think everybody have the right to do whatever they want, but I hope everybody is interested in helping themselves because you know, like if a person feels good, they treat everybody else good as well. That's what I have learned. You know, if I'm not feeling good, I might not necessarily treat everybody, you know, well as they deserve. So I think everybody should be interested in you know, in helping themselves, and whatever tools that, like now, if you ask me, I would use a very totally different approach because now I know better, you know. But at the time, the tools that were available to me, which I believe is also the tools available to most people, you know, I did what I had to do, but I was interested in helping myself. So when something didn't help me, I looked for something else until I found the things that helped me. And most of the things that helped me, physical fitness for sure, but also, you know, from the monks, I learned a lot of things about perspective, you know, analogies, reading and stuff like that. So that's how I've been living my life since then. Now it's been many years. So now if I have to navigate or process something else, I know where to look for help or what kind of tools that I can use. And if it goes beyond my own knowledge, then I can seek help from whoever has the knowledge. Like I've done. I went to Dean because he was doing physical, like he was a bodybuilder. So I wanted to know for sure, like, does bodybuilding help? Because that's what people were saying, and I wanted to try it. So I identify the people who can help me. I go to them, and then I get the knowledge. When they give me the knowledge, I go straight to practice the knowledge. If it works, I stay with it. If it doesn't work, I look for the next thing. So I was just interested in helping myself, and once I did, I started to share it also. And that's how my whole fitness brand, you know, Get Fit For Sure, started. I mean, how did I know people could get fit for sure? It's because I went through it, and then the things that helped me, that's what I share to people. And, you know, up until now, I've been able to help a few people as well. So I think people should be interested in helping themselves, and then when they do, they can, you know, share the knowledge and experience with other people. And that's why I'm here to share my experience.
Amazing. Thank you for that. Thank you for that knowledge. I really absolutely agree with you. You definitely need to help yourself, but the only way you can help yourself is actually taking accountability of your wrongdoings and you know, acknowledge like, hey, I need help. How do I get help?
Absolutely.
Dean.
Yeah, I'm
Can
here.
you hear us? Can you hear us, Dean?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Did you just hear what Jojo was saying?
Yeah, I heard Joe. What he was explaining. Which of the Joe are you talking?
Jojo.
Jojo Garson.
Yeah, okay.
Garson.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jojo has shared a little bit of experience with me. I mean, at the time when we met, and I was very impressed. I was very motivated by his experience. And like he said, we go through these things in order to learn. And then when we learn and we come out of that, we also want to help others so that we can share the knowledge, spread it out. There's a saying that when you teach someone, that person will teach the other person, and
That is so
you are
true.
going to become a legend. So your legacy will still be on earth even when you
Yeah.
are not. When you
So,
are,
Dean,
when
even though you're in Manchester, you have already created a legacy. Definitely.
I
I mean, come
mean,
on, you could have been one of those African brothers when Godson seek for your help. You would have just be like, you know what, I don't want to help you. I don't want to talk to you. You know what I mean? But you decided to do the other way around, which is, show him the ways and tools. And years
yeah, I
later, here
mean,
he is.
it's very important. For me, it's very important to help because what we need to understand is that for you to help a person, it gives you a joy. You the one that you are helping out.
That is true.
It is
Absolutely.
not only that because you are helping, it's only the person you are helping that is enjoying it. We have a
That's
hormones
true.
that we also enjoy. We find some kind of satisfaction when we help out. And so
That is
I
true.
was so much happy, delighted to help him. And so for sure, I definitely agree with him for the fact that he has found himself, he has really made a self-actualization, and he find the right path for himself, and he's willing to also share the knowledge and help each other. I mean, the young ones. So I mean, I'm so proud of him. But
Yes,
I mean,
Jojo, we are very proud of you.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you also.
I'm very proud of him, and for sure,
And
like he was saying, at a time when he couldn't find the right way, he had to use certain substances, drinking, smoking, and stuff like that. For me, I think that when you are in your young age, you want to try different things out of pleasure and stuff like that. But I don't want to say that you only smoke or drink only when you have problems, because there are people who smoke. Smoking weed is a therapy to them. It helped them to think rationally. It helped them to find solutions, and it's like a medicine to them. And so I don't want us to navigate it only at a point where you cannot find a solution. That is when you
Do
get
you
into that.
consider that as their weakness when those people who turn to use substances? Do you consider
I
that
think
as
that's
weakness?
on this earth when you use something a, as a like a cure for your problems, that thing becomes the cure. So, uh, for example, I'm telling you that when I'm stressed, I get to the gym. I mean,
That's your own way of curing your
exactly.
whatever is.
And so, if
Okay.
if somebody would put smoking weed as his problem solving, that is his way.
That is where, yeah.
You understand? And
We all
so,
have our own
whatever,
ways.
exactly. And so, whatever you believe that is going to cure you, that is how, I mean, it happens. And then you don't realize that maybe the thing that you are putting down actually destroy you. But this is how we make choices in our life.
Joe,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna ask you guys this the main question. How do men navigate through life's ups and downs? I'm gonna say men in general, not African men, just men in general, because I believe that men are one. We all have different upbringing, but there's one man and one woman. So how do you think men should, and how men are navigating lives? Like, let's say, in this
Navigating their problems or ups and downs.
ups and
I
downs is a
mean,
problem.
I mean,
It's good.
Diana, let me come in a bit. Sometimes we have to men role and the woman role. They are totally different.
Of
You know,
course, 100%.
if for example, let's say if I have a wife and she come to me with an issue, she come to me crying and showing so much pain. If I would cry with her, who is going to, comfort her?
But that's okay. Why you are not allowed to cry with her?
No, no. What I'm trying to tell you is that
Yeah.
when we both get to cry together,
Yes.
how are
What's
we
wrong
going
about
to,
that?
because I mean, my point is that you as the man, you want to, because in everything there should be negative and positive.
So I guess what you said. Your point is, you as a man, like Joe just said, you gotta be strong. You gotta be the one that doesn't, show emotions. But I'm telling you that
I mean,
if your woman has issues and she comes to you being emotional, vulnerable, it's okay for you to be vulnerable with her. There's
yeah.
no statement in that saying that if I show my weakness and she's weak, how the problem is gonna solve.
No,
Because
no, no,
you're
no, no.
showing. Mm,
That is not
go
my
on.
point. So, I
Okay,
mean,
tell me your point.
you are right. You should be able to be in that same like feeling, that same atmosphere with her. But then you
Yeah.
have to be strong for her, because at this moment she is down. In order for you to uplift her, you have to show a different approach.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that you are not going to be crying with her, or you are not going to be like being vulnerable with her, but you are going to do it in the manly perspective.
And what is the manly perspective here?
So, so
Break it down.
if you want me to break it down,
Break
I
it
mean,
down.
my point is that for you being able to listen to her, give her your full attention, listen to whatever that she had, agreeing with her, be on her side, but then at the end, you are there to show her a positive approach, whereby you can use that, information to uplift her. You understand what I'm saying? Because as a man, sometimes it's not everything that you you are able to discuss, or you are able to open up to, let's say, like a woman or your mom or your daughter, stuff like that, because you want to be there for them. You want to be strong for them. And so sometimes there are certain things that you want to overlook and make sure that you handle it by yourself as a man.
I guess what you're saying. It actually makes perfect sense.
You
You
know,
want to be the protector.
for example,
Yeah.
when you go to the war, there is only men at the war.
When you go to a
And
war, there's only men at the war.
there is mostly men. Going to a war. There's
Yeah.
mostly men, and
Yeah.
and one of the practical reasons. From my perspective, is that the things that men are facing on the war field, it is not something that it is easy to speak it out to their fellow women or mom or daughter or stuff like that, because there are certain things that you just don't want to open up that extent, because women are very emotional and they are just going to get breakdown by telling them all the actual things that have been going on there. So that
So
is this
you
is one of
feel
the practical reasons
you feel, in
whereby
your opinion, that women's cannot handle they cannot
women
handle
are
the
naturally,
emotions.
of course, they are naturally emotional. So for sure, there are certain things that you want to, even if you want to open up, you want to make sure that you process it in a way that they can handle.
Okay. So, Joe, do you agree with what Dean is saying?
Yeah.
I don't think he has listened to.
If it's okay,
No, no. I heard.
if it's okay, I will speak quickly because I think I'm gonna have to excuse you guys.
Yes.
But just my short opinion is like, you ask how men deal with it. I think like we all deal with things very differently,
Mm.
and like so far as everybody deals with things very differently, it's very difficult to say what is the right way or what is
Doing
not the
things,
right
yeah.
way,
Mm.
And like what Dean is saying, maybe that is what works for
His
them.
way. That's
but
what works for him. That's true.
absolutely. And
Mm.
for me, like I've also learned that we should always like the more aware we become and the more knowledgeable that we become, the better tools we have, the more easier it is because to even be able to identify who the right person to have the right conversation with is like already that's like wisdom in essence, So I think like we should seek self actualization, that we know who we are, and then we can also identify the people around us that the right people that we can, have the right conversation with. And if you are able to identify the right people, definitely, if you have the right conversation, you will get the right help, the right tools, the right suggestions, or the right tips to to be able to move forward. So I think like we should all be able to express our emotions to the right people, and if you do that, you can get the help that you want, because help is all over the place, but it's also important to get help from the right place.
So it's definitely important to get the right kind of help, because a lot of people are dealing with mental issues, but they don't know what kind of mental issues they're dealing with.
Yeah.
So if you're out there listening to this right now, mental awareness topic, please know that it's okay not to be okay. Know that it's okay to seek for help. That doesn't make you less of a man, and it's okay to be vulnerable. So
Yeah.
yes.
Before I leave, I have a gift for you, because I saw you started to work out now, and I want to be able to, because now I'm like the prophet of fitness, because fitness kind of like helped me and saved me. So
Okay, guys, hold a minute. So I have wait.
I brought you like some of my workout clothes.
Okay.
You can enjoy them.
Thank you, guys. It is
And Joe, like,
Get Fit for sure.
Yeah, get fit for sure, bro.
but I'm gonna leave all of you, and it
Bro.
was really awesome.
So see you on next week Tuesday. We
Yeah,
continue with the show. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, guys. Jojo had to leave us. He has another. He has really have a shooting to do in about 30 minutes. So Joe,
Yes.
we will continue this part two. Jojo, we're gonna have a part two of this.
Yeah, don't worry. I mean,
I'm
you
gonna have a female, because I wanna have a female and a man, opinion on this. So we're gonna have a part two, definitely. Thank you so much.
You have Dean. Dean is our man. So once Dean is here, like, just give him all the questions.
I will definitely do that.
All
I will
right,
definitely do that.
Thank you so much. And
Thank
thanks for
you, Joe.
listening.
Thank you.
Man, Joe, good to see you, man. It's been a while. Let's link up later.
Joe, you heard Dean. Dean said you guys should link up later.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, guys. We talk, okay? All right. Thank you for coming.
Yes.
Okay, so
Okay.
Joe has left the building. Now the big boss is here. Two big bosses, Nuruddin and Joe. How many minutes we have left here? We're gonna
I actually also have
yeah, we have 20 minutes.
an appointment soon, so
Yeah. How many minutes? 10 minutes. 7 minutes. Dean, I would love to have this conversation again. I'm gonna have few fellow women, because I would love to hear from the women and from you and Jojo.
right.
Yeah, because today has been a little bit of mess, so the topic hasn't really been like how I planned it. But it would have been nice to hear from a male perspective and a woman perspective how
Oh yeah.
do African women deal with depression and anxiety and so on. So, but before I let you go, I would love for you to answer this. Like, what advice would you give this younger generation right now who are dealing with depression when it comes to actually African men in general? What advice would you give them?
I mean, from my side, I think that I
Basically, the
already.
question is, what advice would you give the younger generation that are suffering in silence?
Silent killer.
You know what I mean? There are a lot of people who are suffering in silence. They
Oh yeah.
they look happier outside, but then inside at home they are like they are depressed. They're depressed and they're going through a lot, but they don't have people they talk to. Elders or good friends, or they don't have things that they are passionate about. So what advice would you give those kind of people?
I mean, like we all said, definitely you should, I mean, reach out and get advice and get help from any kind of difficulties you are going through.
Yes.
The main thing as a man, you have to also understand that you haven't been born as a man just for nothing. There is a purpose. And so for the reasons why you are a man, when you find that out, maybe probably it can help you to uplift yourself. Um, the, uh, the people go through different, challenges, different issues, different problems. But then you have to sit down and analyze what kind of problem you have and look into what person or which organization are going to be of the best help. Because at the end of the day, nobody could help you if you don't communicate whatever you have in
That
your
is true.
private life. So, um, but then what I will add is that we should make sure that we add some kind of physicalities in our life. You know, we happen to get too relaxed and we don't find any kind of hobbies or any kind of activities, something that you do outside your job or family or whatever. And so, what I want to advise is that we should add physicality in our life because I can promise you or I can tell you with a lot of confidence that physical activities it helps the mental aspect and also the
That is so
physical
true.
aspect of
That
our
is so
life.
true.
Mm.
Mm. So, guys, there you have it. That was Dean, all the way Manchester. Dean, it's lovely to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
We'll
you for
have part
having me.
two. We'll definitely have part two.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste your time. Um, I'm gonna continue with Joe here, but
Yeah.
thank you for
I will leave you
coming
guys
to
for now. It was very,
yes.
good conversation and a very sensitive topic, but I believe we are going to conclude it.
Yeah. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
We'll
just the beginning. We're
continue.
gonna get more deeper. We're gonna get more deeper
Exactly.
with some girls. I already have the girls
Exactly.
in mind, so I will contact you. But
Okay.
meanwhile, let's stay in touch, okay?
Let's do that.
All right.
Jojo,
Take care.
Hey, Charlie.
man,
Bless,
we'll talk
bless.
later, man.
Yeah, sure,
All right,
absolutely,
all right, all
absolutely.
right.
Greetings to the Manchesters, yeah?
All right, you too, you too. Bye
All
bye.
right, bro.
Okay, guys. So that was Nuruddin. We miss you, Dean. Well, come visit us soon. So, for those who just tune in or who have been with us, listening to us, this month is actually a mental health awareness. From this month, from the 1st of May to the 31st of May, the whole month is about mental health. So today we are talking about African men in general. How do they navigate through life's ups and downs? As you know, we Africans, we don't show emotions. And definitely we are not, we don't like to show vulnerability. We see that as a sign of weakness. Now, I would like to break the stigma by saying that it's okay to teach your boys to be open about their emotions and feelings. Be example for young boys to show you gotta be vulnerable, and that's okay, guys. It's really okay. Know that it's okay to ask for help. Choose your words carefully to people who are dealing with depression, anxiety, and choose empowerment over shame. So basically, Joe, what I was saying about choose empowerment over shame, like you were saying that when asking for help, you don't know who you trust because you're thinking about how people view you.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's something that we Africans need to stop to do because at the end of the day, people are gonna talk. People are gonna talk. Do you wanna get help or do you care about people's opinion about what you're dealing, what you're going through? Because there are a lot of people who are dealing with mental illness, but they cannot talk it out because they just feel like it's a taboo, it's a stigma. Like if I'm
Yeah, but then in other way also you need to understand the person who have been biting by a snake is the one who saw a snake go run away.
Joe always have parables. Can you please speak normal language, please? He's always like speaking something I don't understand. Speak English, I
Okay.
beg.
What I mean is that if you have been biting or
Yeah.
you have been bitten by a snake,
Yeah.
if you saw a snake, you definitely pass the other side. It simply means that somebody has been in that situation whereby he or she have shared her problem with somebody and the problem out there probably it's confidential situation. Yeah, severally it happens. So some people eventually will give up trying to stick to their own problem. Yeah, so it's always like that. So but then it's a dicey situation. Yeah, so in this case what I would advise to you is that like if you believe in God I mean, he's the ultimate. Yeah. Like me, 90% of my problem I share with God. 10% I share with people that I trust, and which I know that those problems, even if God out there, I don't really care so much.
So what about the people who don't have faith, who don't believe in God?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That it's individual thing. I can't talk for everyone, but I can only give an opinion. Yeah. So, it's difficult. It's difficult to say this, but I mean, like, just believe in God.
Okay, so that was your advice for generation.
Yeah, because
believe in God.
Believe in God, and lay all your burdens on Him. Because as far as human is concerned, it's human.
That's true.
You understand? You cannot deviate. We are meant to disappoint and to betray. So in that case, it's a simple A, B, C, D. You have to read between the lines. You understand? Because, for example, in as much you, Diana, I trust you. You are human.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe you are in the middle of party, then the conversation got related to what we have discussed. It's not like intentionally you want to say it, but it will just pop up.
Okay, now I get you.
You understand?
Yeah, I get what
it's
you're
not
saying.
intentional you want to say it, but then maybe how you put it in that conversation, in that itinerary, where people that was involved will not take it as you were saying.
So that's what you were referring to earlier about people having loose mouths.
Yes.
Okay, guys. With that being said, I want to read this for my males out there who are listening to this podcast right now. So, dear men, mental health matters. We need to talk openly about mental health. Suffering in silence isn't safe or healthy option for the men in our lives. Check in with them, ask them how they're doing, feeling, especially if one of them has experienced a recent loss. It can be a heartbreak or lost their family member. So check in with them. Look for life changes in their behavior, and watch out for depression symptoms. If you think someone you love has depression, offer your support, listen, and be patient. Encourage him to talk to his doctor or a mental health professional, or you can help him find treatment service in his area. Living with depression can feel overwhelming and isolating, so let him know he's not alone. Help is available, and he can feel better. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, this was our chat with Ms. D on mental health chat today. We are going to continue next week with our females, part 2 of this conversation. I hope you guys have, I hope this message out here, has helped few of you guys who are dealing with stuff. We are all going through something right now. So, but just know that you're not alone. You're not alone with this. You can always seek for help. Be passionate about something that you love. As Dean said, it's not about gym. If you're not the gym person, do something that you truly love. Don't deal with your depression alone. And it's okay to ask for help. It's not a taboo or a stigma. So with that being said, Joe.
Yes, Mama.
I think it's time for you to wrap it up.
All right.
Till next time, guys. This was Chat with Miss D, and I am out.
Yes, beautiful show.
Okay, Joe. Well, let me see.
I just want to be high. Be high. Baby, So now me you could love forever. I'm a cocky no feeble letter. I'm a Angelina. I'm a Angelina. Oh, me all down. Anytime when I see you for the club or the television, your body. Sure you know say the thing when you carry 50 kill somebody. You know I feel a vibe, you feel a vibe, so baby whine about me. Yeah, and I know you shy, but it's cool when we're making love. On the low, 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 on the low. Angelina, you the cool in my temperature. If you call, I go come deliver.
Yeah, we're just wrapping up the show. That was Diana Mansari. Call her Miss D. That's a mental health situation. Exclusively in Jesse Radio. Next week, the program, the show is going to continue. Still live on Jesse Radio with my dear lovely sister. Sister from another mother, another father, but we're still vibing, you know. She a little crazy, but you know. Today she rocking African way, you know. That's Miss D. Lena Tube, how are you doing? She says you are the queen, Lena, right? I told Benny's happy Thursday to you. Lamin, happy Thursday to you. For those of you wherever you're watching, happy Thursday to you. Next week, Jesse Radio is going to be on fire because we're going to open from Monday to Monday. Live show is going to happen here all the time. There is the voice, and who are the voice? We are the voice. You are the voice, and we all are the voice. So bring your support. Let's join hands together and grow this radio station. It's for us. We all. Till then, we'll see you tomorrow. Afrobeat live. Live. I mean live Afrobeat, you know, tomorrow. Tune in 10 o'clock. But tomorrow, Mama Becky, if you are not from Ghana, please, it's going to be difficult, you know. She speaks only Ghana language, you know. So you really. But I mean, she mixed them with Ghana language too. Yo, big up Lamin Barrow. Big shout out to you. Yo, so tomorrow Afrobeat live here on Jesse Radio. It's gonna turn up crazy. And next week I'm gonna have some few DJs coming live on Jesse Radio and also, you know, doing their own thing here. We're live on we're live on our website www.jesseradiolive.com. Also live on YouTube and also on Facebook. Facebook Jesse Radio TV and YouTube Jesse Radio TV, all in capital letters. Remember to help your sister. Sponsor Diana's show so her show can grow, you know. She's coming all the way from Vanta just to do this show. Once again, big shout out to you, Miss D. Today she looking so amazing. With all the, is it Indian color or some beige color or something? I can, you know, with a high tail off. That's my sister right there. You said what?
The babies are waiting.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you for sticking up with us. We locked down in the heart of Expo. If you want us to run a commercial advert for you, anything, just let us know. Go to our website, www.jcradiolive.com. Send us a message and we'll send out email or call us. We will get back to you. Till then, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.